Hi, this is Bill Thompson, August 6th, 2022, at the Campbell Lug Blackwell reunion. Today I'd like to give you a tour of some of the features of our website. Many of our web pages adapt to the size and shape of the device they're being viewed from. This is the way our home page looks when viewed on most computers. We have a banner across the top, in this case with an orange background, presenting the name of the website. And we have two panels side by side. On the left, in this case with a blue background, in a sidebar is a menu that takes us to various parts of the website. To its right, with a white background, is the main portion of our homepage. It contains a bunch of photos, and the buttons below the picture, previous and next, take you through that photo gallery. But if viewed on a smartphone, instead of being side by side, the two panels may be stacked, with the menu panel above the other panel. Notice the last menu item circled in red. If we click on that, it takes us to a screen containing this. The top part of the form contains the usual fields you would expect: name, address, etc. But I want to call your attention to the bottom portion of the form. Here is where you enter the comment you wish to send us, and most important, the green button marked Send. If you forget to click on Send, your message will never be delivered. As you see, the Family History menu option is circled. It contains all the information from our original website and is the heart of this one. It contains over 600 pages of old letters, family documents, etc. Clicking on that button takes you to... This is how the Family History menu looks on a computer screen. A banner circled in black, a sidebar menu circled in red, and a main body circled in green of the text that describes the contents. On a smartphone, the same elements are there, but stacked one above each other rather than side by side. Returning back to the Family History menu page, we see the menu with Search circled in red. Note that the buttons are now bullseyes, and if you click on one in the center, are taken to the appropriate page. Search Our Site takes you to a screen containing a search box to search our entire website, and an invitation to enter your search terms. Above the search box are two links. One says Search Tips, and the other says Advanced Search. As you would expect, the first takes you to some excellent suggestions for how to search, and the second allows you to specify how you want the search made, whether it be case sensitive, whether to search for entire words or just word stems, if you want to search using ands, ors, and or nots. Our miscellaneous documents index is well worth visiting. We don't have time to go there now, but it contains links to letters, Gentleman John Blackwell's 1820 will, presentations, news clippings, and so much more. Returning to our homepage, we can click on the button for Facebook. That takes us to our Facebook groups page. If you're not a Facebook user, bear with us. We won't stay there long. Facebook groups pages have a menu at the top of their page. I want to call your attention to two often unnoticed items on the right side of that menu: Media and More. Click on Media and you will see a photo gallery of every photo that's ever been posted on the groups page. This image only shows 2 rows of the gallery, but scroll down and you will see hundreds of thumbnail photos in rows. If you click on one of those thumbnail images, you will see the original post and all its comments. You see them on the right. Okay, that's what clicking on Media does. If you click on More, you're given a choice: Files or People. Files takes you to a list of files that you can download and The people option shows you who is in the Facebook group. Currently 318 people. Next, I'd like to show you some things about WikiTree. We have a family tree database that includes the descendants of our Campbell, Lug, and Blackwell families, and some additional ancestors. It contains a total of more than 25,000 people. About 1,300 of them are living. We published an earlier version of the tree on RootsWeb, but their server farm crashed and then they were sold, so we had to find another site. I chose WikiTree because 1, it's free, and 2, because it's one giant tree for people from all over the world. It includes some 31 million people, and maintenance is shared by almost 1 million volunteers. So far, I've added some 6,300 people from our tree to WikiTree, and Betsy and Betty have added some too, and you could help with that as well. All family trees are a melding of many families, but when you have 31 million people in one tree, so there is no simple way of looking at WikiTree and seeing only our Campbells or our Lugs or our Blackwells. Instead, I have given you an entry point, someone far enough back in each line that all of our Campbells have him or her as a common ancestor. Ditto for our Lugs and our Blackwells. Let's take a look at our Lugs. You may not be able to read all of the slide, but Robert Lug, 1750 to 1831, and his wife, née Anne Ely, appear to be the ancestors of all of our Lugs. Everyone in the WikiTree has their own webpage called a profile. In addition to having the vital statistics as to date and location of birth and date, Robert Lug's profile also contains links, circled in blue, for his wife, Anne, and 2 of their 7 children. You can follow such links from profile to profile and wander around the tree indefinitely. I followed them to Robert and Anne's son Charles' profile, and then to Charles' son Robert S. Lug, and then to the latter's daughter, Phoebe Lug Evans. Let's take a quick look at the menu that appears on every WikiTree profile page. I've circled Family Tree and Tools, which takes to a long list of choices. The Family Tree and Tools page offers links to many kinds of trees, but always shows one, like this, for starters. This is half of what it shows for Phoebe. Below this, it shows her spouse's ancestry. Note that all the people have links that take you to a similar page for them. Here's a small section of WikiTree's list of tools. I've circled Dynamic Tree by Topola, Fan Chart, and Printer Friendly Tree as being of special interest. Fan Chart lets you produce a wide variety of charts, not just fan charts. Not shown here, but of possible interest, are Connections to Me and Relationship to Me. But what if we want to look up someone whose ancestry is none of the above, or whose ancestry we don't know? Because of protecting privacy, entries for living people are not very accessible. So if the person is alive, you're unlikely to find them. Instead, start with a deceased parent, or deceased grandparent, or great-grandparent. This screen is the first step. You will notice there are many data fields on this screen, into about the person, their parents, etc. If that person's name is rare, such as my ancestor Theodosia Dibble, the name may be all you need. If you don't enter enough information, you will retrieve too long a list of possible matches. If you enter too much information, you may not get any matches. It's something of a balancing act. That's all the time we have now for WikiTree. You can ask about it in the Q&A session. Now, we're moving on to a more recent part of the site, our blog. It's mostly in parallel with our Facebook group. I usually make posts to the blog first, then copy that web address and post it into our Facebook group page. If we wish, we can automatically link our blog posts to other social networking sites, except Snapchat. Here's a slide to show you the present layout of our blog when viewed on a computer. Don't worry if you can't read it. The intent is to show you its sections. When viewed on a smartphone, sections may be stacked rather than side by side. At the top, with white letters on black, is a large header showing the site's name. Below that, illegible but circled in red, is the page's menu. The red button, circled in yellow, is a search box for the blog's posts and comments. An abbreviated version of the latest post is enclosed in the brown circle. Circled in green on the left are abbreviated versions of recent posts. Circled in green on the right is an index to recent posts. Circled in blue is a section for recent comments. Here's a close-up of an abbreviated version of a post. If you click on the Continued Reading button for a post, it will take you to the post itself. And here's the actual post. In this example, it shows the front of a picture postcard and a long caption that was on the back. Below the posts are like buttons for Facebook and Twitter. Comments would appear on the right. All good things, or boring ones, must come to an end. Thank you for your time and attention. The Q&A section